Hey guys, it's Hitman, and I'm here to give you a little guide on how to find out if you have a fake controller, fake PS3 controller. Okay, so let's get started. Um, the first, the first thing that you're really gonna notice when it comes to physical properties is usually the PS home button. Um, on this controller, it is jet black. Um, whereas on the real Sony controller, which I have here, it's kind of dismantled, so sorry about that. It's like a lighter shade if you compare the two. So usually the first thing you want to do is look for the color of the PS button. Um, Second thing that you will notice is another thing over here, which is where this seam is, where connects the two controllers. The lines and the edges here are pretty jagged. Uh, let's turn this on. Okay, if you look closely, the lines and stuff, they're pretty jagged. They're pretty rough. They're not smoothed out properly. If you run your finger over them, possibly you could feel that they're rough compared to well, that's a bad example, but yeah, compared to the original controllers, if you have access to them. Another thing, another thing you're gonna notice is the color of the color of the actual buttons themselves. In this case, they have a lighter shade. Some of the colors are off. They're either dim or brighter. The proper shade of color is not there as it is in the real PS buttons. They're glossy, really smooth. Whereas on here, you could obviously see they have more of a matte finish. They're more dull. So look, if you compare the two, that one shines a lot of light. These ones are dull. Also, colors are off. Another thing, this is one of the major things which I noticed is the back sticker right here. It is completely different than the actual sticker that comes with the controller, which is the black one here. Obviously, you can see that there's a difference here. One of the things you want to look for is right here, the serial bar. First thing you want to see is the color of the bar itself. It's white. It's never that color on the real controllers. They are a silver, a silver metallic shiny color. Whereas over here they're just bright white, dull, not shiny whatsoever. Also the quality over here, it's more a stick on paper. Whereas the real ones, they're really smooth because Sony puts an extra plastic cover on their stickers. These are usually paper, so you want to feel and see whether these have more of a paper-like and a matte finish. Another thing you want to look at the barcode is, if you look at the barcode itself, with all the lines and stuff, they're usually just blocks of barcode. If you look at the real controller, they have a lot of fine lines. The barcodes are much smaller. There are more barcodes, much finer. So look at the two. So look at this one, those fine lines. It's pretty blocky. Another thing you want to look at the numbers themselves. On here they're pretty small and they're tightly packed and tightly grouped with each other. If you look at the real controller, there the font is much bigger. The numbers are spread apart. Also, if you look at the size of the barcode, how it's, you could say, relatively half the size of the width of the actual barcode. If you look at the bootleg controller, you can obviously see that the barcode is half the size of this whole serial number white bar. Look at the size of the barcodes; they're much bigger here. Over here, they're much finer, and also the numbers are larger and more split apart. And over here, they're smaller and more tightly grouped. And finally, just look at all this. There's no whether it's FC, all the different stuff that they have on the sticker here. Okay. Next thing, let's go more to the internals. The first time I opened it from the box, buttons are they're not smooth. There's like, you know, really rough feel to them. They're not smooth whatsoever. Um, like like that. Another thing that you are going to notice, one of the main things you're going to notice is the analog sticks are so much stiffer. So just listen to the sound of this. Now the real ones, you just like, you know, hear that these ones absorb the sound and absorb the shock much better than these ones. These are really stiff and loud. Another thing you'll notice is, suppose if you're playing Call of Duty Black Ops or, you know, any other game, and you want to use your kill streaks or use your equipment, like, you know, you want to press these buttons. One thing on these buttons is, like, if you press them like lightly, nothing happens. All these buttons you have to press them like, you know, really hard. Also select button, like, you got to press all of them like really hard. Same with them, otherwise they won't register. And finally, one of the main things that I noticed about this controller is the analog sticks. Suppose you're playing, you know, Black Ops, or you're your guy, like you're walking your guy here and you're aiming from right here. When you move the analog stick, like, you know, really slowly, on the PS3 it won't register. So first of all, on the real controller, if you move it like, you know, this much, like, you'll see your guy slowly walking. On here, if you move it this much, nothing's gonna happen. If you move it more, he'll walk slowly. Then if you move it like a millimeter more, the guy'll just start running. Like, the sensitivity on these analog sticks are horrible. And you'll notice that, like, the moment you start playing them, like, you'll feel that, like, you know, there's a lot of rough movements. You're not able to you know, register what you're doing on here. On the PS3 controllers, like, you know, the slightest movement is, like, you know, really sensitive on the games. The fake ones, like, if you move it a little bit and then you move it a little bit more, like if you move it here, the guy will move slowly. If you move it right there, he'll start running. Like, it's not sensitive and it's really crappy. Same with the buttons. Another thing you might want to look at is the height of the buttons, like how far they are. As I said before, this is like a high quality knockoff, so it's almost similar to the original PS3 ones. Yeah, so that's like, you know, mostly the controller. Another thing you're gonna see on the knockoffs is when you press it, you could see like the LEDs, like, you know, flashing through the case. On the Sony website, they said that, you know, that's not supposed to happen, and if it is, it's supposed to be minimum. But as you can see, like, you know, you can clearly see through the thing, and some people are gonna say it's like, you know, the type of mold color used, but it's not supposed to really show. Fine, let's move on to the packaging. Surprisingly, as you see on all over the internet, everyone says that, like, you know, theirs hasn't come in the packaging. Mine actually came all, like, you know, sealed up. I cut it off and everything, but the packaging looked legit. One of the things that, like, you know, just gave it away, it also came this sheet in the back. The main things that gave it away is, if you read right here, it'll say CECHZC2U. The U at the end means United States. So, you know, if you live in different regions, you buy different controllers, they have different endings. This one, it says U, which stands for United States. Look at the back of the controller, it's H. It stands for Hong Kong, but serial numbers, the model number, however, it does not match. The box looks pretty legit, but as you can tell, if you, like, you know, look at the real box of a PS3 controller, the colors are not even. So yeah, that's about it. So yeah, so, you know, hope you guys like, you know, before you buy a controller, if a deal's too good to be true, don't buy it, especially with PS3 controllers. I bought this for 20 bucks, 27. So if you find any controllers on the internet that are, you know, less than $35 or $40, do not buy them. They're knockoffs. They're gonna look real with the Sony, you know, everything, but they're fake. And also in the description, I'm gonna try to leave the guy who I bought this off of. So, you know, you guys go and give him some bad ratings or leave some comments, whatever. So yeah, that's how to find out if you have a bootleg controller. So, you know, rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll be making more videos in the future. Alright, so Hitman signing off.